So today, everyone got sacked. Yeah, it's that deep. So, a lot has happened since the last video. Where do I begin? So today, everyone got sacked. The question is why? I'm sure everybody wants to know why. Well, it wasn't what I wanted to happen, and it wasn't exactly how I wanted things to go down. But sometimes on any project, you just have to make some tough decisions, and that's what we had to do. And it wasn't something that I did lightly or something that I even wanted to do, but it was just something that had to happen in order for me to maintain my sanity. In the end, I had to basically get rid of the whole team working on the project because it just wasn't going according to plan, really. I mean, we've done some great work so far in here, but it just was one of those things where things were starting to take way too long. I couldn't really just kind of wait for things to pick up because the team weren't doing the work at the speed that I wanted them to do it at. I don't even know where to begin. So up until now, everything was going really well. I have no complaints. Maybe when we got to about maybe 2.5, 3 months into it. There were two teams doing the project initially. The guys upstairs doing the heavy build work, and that was kind of supplemented by the guys doing all of the internal renovation work. The main reason I didn't give the job to one team and I gave it to a number of different people was so that if any one of them failed, the risk of the whole project falling apart wasn't so great. But, you know, as with any project that you do really, that risk is always there. And there's always the chance that things won't work out, even when you think that things are going really well. So the rear heavy build team did their job, finished up, packed up, left almost 2 months ago. The internal team doing the refurb, well, they're not here, but they'd still be here today if it wasn't for the fact that I sacked them 3 weeks ago. Basically, up until all the plastering had been done, I was really happy. The strip down, the plastering, the electrics. I guess maybe the problem started when the main contractor was supposed to provide a plumber, but he told me he couldn't, so I had to find my own plumber. That in itself didn't work out too well because it was short notice, last minute. So the guy that I found did a job. Whether it was a good job, no, it wasn't a good job. That's a whole other story for another episode. But here downstairs in the living room, even though the original contractor was supposed to do it, I changed that and I brought someone in anyway. And he's the one who started doing a lot of the work in here. Brought people in to build the kitchen units, brought him in to do the tiling on the walls and the floor. So I'd already kind of started taking work away from them up until we basically decided that that was going to be the end and they were going to pull from the job. So at about 5 p.m. on a Friday, when the previous team finished, I literally had people coming to start. So the first group came in and they were working here from 5 p.m. until like 10 p.m. at night. They were happy to come in here and do the work, put in the effort that was required to see it through and to make some money because people are getting paid to do this. It's not a volunteer exercise. That's why it surprises me when people clearly don't want to get paid and they do such a poor quality job. And then expect to get paid after doing such a poor quality job. I guess I started to have problems when I saw that the guys upstairs were doing their work and the construction was going really, really quickly. The pace was really rapid, lots of good work being done as you saw from the videos. I had no complaints maybe for the first 3 months or so. It's been about 4 months now. The last 4 weeks were going very, very slowly to the point where I couldn't hack it anymore. I met with the build team multiple times. We went through a number of replanning exercises. I tried to explain to them kind of the urgency, the reasons behind it. I have a really good relationship with the person who was doing it. We have worked on a number of projects together actually. He's worked on almost all of my projects in the past. I brought in a new team. I had 2 great guys from Brazil that just came in and they stayed. They worked a couple of nights actually. A couple of times they came in and worked through the night to get the job done. To get us back on track as much as possible, even though we're 6 weeks behind. And they did a great job, I can't complain. Finding people wasn't very hard. I guess the hard part was having to micromanage it, which is something that I've been trying to avoid, hence why I had 2 main contractors. But in the end, I got my own people in, individuals in, got them to help me, and now we're almost finished. I've had to get involved in everything from tiling to cleaning to painting. Today I was here all day, spent most of the day cleaning and tidying up. I was becoming very anxious just coming here daily and not seeing the type of progress that I was expecting. And so that wasn't doing my health any good. But after I got rid of the old team, I generally felt much better, and I feel like knowing that things are happening, knowing that the change is coming and the work is progressing, knowing all of those things is actually one of the best feelings that you can get. When you don't have those things, you just feel like everything is going backwards and you don't necessarily have the faith in the people doing the work. It's just not a pleasant feeling. So since I brought in new people, we've made massive progress, massive strides in terms of the work that we're doing. Yeah, let's have a look. The kitchen, as you can see, is almost done. Some last few bits that we need to do here, like fit the taps and put the sockets, the faceplate for the sockets back on. That's about it for the kitchen, really. And the rest of the house upstairs, we have finished, basically. The flooring is down, we've done all the paintwork. I had to hire different decorators to go back and kind of work their way back from the work that the previous decorator had done, which wasn't good enough, like I was saying. And that means that we had to go back, do a lot of the filling back in, refill a lot of the holes. Yeah, it was all pretty interesting. Listening to their feedback about what the previous guy had done, that was interesting. It wasn't very complimentary, I can tell you that much.
I speak these words, it's chemistry, the way my voice and the beats then merge. It only takes 1 second for the heat to surge, then I take it to the limit, to the peak, the verge. You can find me in your hood, on your street, your curb. I must be offing someone rich. If you see me in the burbs, I'm like Bob Marley. If you see me with the herbs, he must be a hot producer. If you see me with a nerd, I'm the manager. If you ever see me with a band, so if careers...
Coming back to the main contractor, so I had to find a plumber. That was the first issue that we had. His electrician was doing work, but I wasn't necessarily happy with the quality of the work. Then once the plastering was done, we were doing things like the painting and the filling. Just the level of finish was just terrible. And I kept telling him, you need to redo this, things weren't getting done. Eventually, we just had, honestly, the only way possible forward for my own sanity was just to part ways. And so 3 weeks ago, we went our separate ways. And since then, 3 weeks later, we're basically almost finished on the project.